What's going on, YouTube fam? This is the Wealth Investing Network. We do this for the win. You're getting a sneak peek into my stock portfolio and a sneak peek into my research on stocks. Today, we're looking at BEEM Global. Before we get into it, I have to ask you to please hit that like button, turn it blue, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already for that YouTube AI. In this video, I'm going to do a quick recap of what this company is. If you've seen my videos on BEEM before, great, but I will mix it up so you day ones won't get bored, I promise. Let's jump into Robinhood. You see they debuted on the stock market in early 2019 and flattened out around here until this year where they have an incredible run up. They're up over 700%. And really in this last month, between their earnings and some good news that came out, the stock gapped up. I bought in around here and some more shares in this area. So I'm long this stock and you can see my average cost here. So BEEM Global, here's their website, formerly known as Envision Solar. They say world's fastest EV charging deployment, but I'm sure Tesla and others say the same thing. So we're taking things on their website with a grain of salt. They're trying to shine the best light on themselves. See what I did there? Okay, moving on. This is their main product, the EV ARC. And you can see here, formerly Envision Solar. According to the CEO, the name change was a good thing for them. They didn't want to get written off as a home rooftop solar panel company. Fair enough. Anyway, you can see here we have a solar generation from the top panel, and then there's battery storage that flows into the EV chargers of your choice. And so when we get into the EV deployment, this is why they're saying they're the fastest, is because there's no construction and no permits. They're saying they can bring it in this regular kind of utility type truck that attaches to their trailer and their EV ARC. And this is the big thing that everyone highlights with BEEM Global. There's no construction needed. They bring in this trailer with the EV ARC, they drop that bad boy in, and you're pretty much good to go. You land it right on an existing parking space, and the car can park on top of their little pad they have here. So businesses can put this EV ARC into their parking lots facing the sun, presumably. And one of the popular ways EVs are going to be charged is at your workplace. Home is the number one place you charge this, and it's not designed for residential. However, this could be good for your job. Maybe even better for when you go to the grocery store, or you go to buy whatever you need, and you park in the parking lot. You say, I'm not at full charge, let me just go ahead and do that. And it might attract you to spend money at a place where you can charge your EV versus a place where you can't. And as a business, it might be an advantage for you that you don't need to rip up your parking lot, you don't need to lose any parking spaces, and you don't need any permits. So pro, no construction. Con, you need the sun. But I guess it's only a con if you don't get a lot of sun or if there's some way that poses a limitation for you. I'm just gonna breeze through a couple things. They're in a lot of cities. They have a lot of customers, and there's some big names here. And then they have the map. It's hard to tell how many units exist from this map, but my research tells me it's close to 240 on the low end. And if you see across the top here that BEEM was awarded the GSA contract to provide products to the federal government, this means they were put on a list as an option, but it doesn't indicate increased sales yet. And at the same time, that's an important step. I also want to note that they partner with ChargePoint. You see their old name here, Envision Solar. And ChargePoint is not yet publicly traded under their name ChargePoint. Currently, they're under the ticker SBE or under Switchback Energy. But BEEM Global partners with anyone who makes actual chargers. My research indicates they're not even really a competitor in the charging space, because going back to this picture here, they're more of a partner. They make it easy for Tesla or ChargePoint or Blink Charging or whoever to set up their product with BEEM Global as the power source, which is something I didn't fully understand until recently. They also partner with Electrify America. Okay, we're going to try and get into all new information from here. And before we do, I want to say I'm not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice. If you're here to watch my journey, great, because these videos are for entertainment. And a quick plug here to check out Robinhood and also check out Webull. They've helped me a lot on this journey. If you do your research and want to try them, I have some links in the description that can help us both get free stocks together, and I'll open mine live in future videos. I did it at the end of a video last week, and I'll do it again. Now, I mentioned this before, BEEM Global did a share offering, and the price was about $30 a share, introducing 250,000 new shares. So that means the shares that I bought basically got diluted a little bit. However, BEEM Global gets $7.5 million to add to their balance sheet as cash to use to invest back into their business. I also wanted to show this article about the GSA contract, and you can check this out for yourself, but according to BEEM Global CEO Desmond Wheatley, 5 federally funded national laboratories and the US Navy already use EV ARC products, and he's trying to make the case that it'll be easier for them to follow up on orders and for other federal agencies to get EV ARCs as well because of this contract. But I will say, don't count on the federal government to move quickly. We've talked about workhorse, so I wouldn't count on this. It's good news, but I don't count on it. Also, I didn't see pricing for the EV ARC on their website, but this article seems to list the pricing slightly above $60,000, but businesses might be able to get a federal tax credit, so maybe knock off 30% or maybe more. Also, a couple things to check out from their third quarter results. I'll scroll through it quickly, but there's a lot of good news in here, and I think that's what made the stock go up. Basically, the city of San Diego, where they're headquartered, closed an agreement with BEEM, and they'll be the company's first city contracted to host a sponsored network of EV ARC terminals. And BEEM believes this can spark a recurring revenue business model that they can replicate in other cities. They also say they have a path towards a production run rate of over 2,000 EV ARCs annually. Again, this is good news, but we'll see if any other cities take them up on this, or if they even have the capacity to do this at this type of scale. I mean, they only put out 90 units this year, and their facility in San Diego apparently is not at full capacity. So, they could scale up. And the fact that they issued a lot more shares to get this $7.5 million could be a good thing. Now, if we jump into my quick and dirty analysis, which we've seen before, it's just based on my rough estimates, what I could find. Their shares outstanding did increase from just over 7 million to just under 8 million. So I think they issued more than 250,000 shares. But that also means they have more cash to invest back into their business, which could be a good thing for shareholders. I also think their price to sales ratio went up. This is very high, but I think it's even higher because the price to sales ratio is just their market cap over their revenue. And I haven't seen figures on their revenue changing. So anyway, a few last things I want to cover is that I know it says that the EV ARC can reach as many as 12 vehicles, but the thing to highlight is that it can charge up to 6 EVs at the same time. And I want some more clarification here about this daily range, because I think the max for one EV is about 245 or 250 miles per charge. So what I would need to figure out is if it can really fully charge 6 EVs at a time and how many it can charge in a day. And I also want to highlight, it's really small here, range will vary based on local conditions, which I think means how much sun there is. But you can see the rest of the specs here. I also want to show you the analyst report from September. They seem to be saying that grid-tied chargers have a lot of disadvantages. So that's where a company like BEEM has an advantage, because you don't need all that infrastructure, especially if you're trying to deliver EV charging in rural areas, or I guess they say certain geographies. I won't stay on this too long so your eyes don't glaze over. So I think they're saying, any technology that exists, BEEM just acts as the power source. So they're not really hampered by the technology of how fast the charger can charge your car. They act as the power source. As this technology improves, their product will still be viable. And so these are all the patents they have. My research indicates there's also a couple of solar trees out there to charge buses, trucks, and things of that nature. And there's a picture of that. That's pretty impressive. They also have patents for a drone and the streetlight situation. Do your own research on that. And the last thing I want to show is just projections and growth. They expect to be profitable in 2022. They expect their revenue to increase 234%, which is something I didn't realize last time, but this is impressive. And their analyst target mean price keeps going up. So there's other things that I could get to, but we're out of time today. And I want to compare them to another company. So drop a comment if you want me to do that. While you're there, hit that like and subscribe. It helps us grow, helps me provide better content for you. That's a win-win. And we like that here at the Wealth Investing Network. I'm not on social media. This is really just about sharing knowledge here on YouTube. So thanks for watching. I hope I was able to shine a light on this company for you. See what I did there? Not funny? Awkward? Oh. Well, see you in the next video.